I've been in small towns all over the country. Today, I'm in another one. All right, here you go. I'm just going to start with this.
Sure.
Lieutenant Colonel, retired.
Yes, from the Army Reserves, I retired.
Yes, yes. This is just some notes I've been provided with about Allison here. It concludes thusly. Her awards and badges include the Army Commendation Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Iraq Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, the Army Service Ribbon, the Air Assault Badge, the Army Parachutist Badge, the French Army Parachutist Badge, and the Gold German Armed Forces Proficiency Badge?
Yes.
Honestly, I may be intimidated.
Oh, I think being a mom is harder than all that.
Okay, let's start there. You're
Sure.
a mother of two?
Three.
Three?
A set of, they're all girls, and a set of twins who are 14, Bryn and Piper, and then Jordan just turned 8.
Gosh. When did you enlist?
So I was commissioned from West Point in 2001.
Oh, West Point.
Yes.
Of course. 2001, so that's Iraqi Freedom 1?
Yes, I was in OIF 1.
How'd that go?
It was, I mean, I didn't know anything different, right? So first wave into Iraq, and in later years, people would fly in from Kuwait into Baghdad, but we drove all the way from Kuwait, the camps in Kuwait, north all the way with various stops in different cities in Iraq. It's called gacking, ground assault convoying, and we gacked all the way north up to Mosul, and beyond. Yes.
Isn't it true that you have so many patches and medals that you had to get a larger size jacket simply to accommodate all of them?
No, not really.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yes, proud to have served.
Was it an adventure? Was it an ordeal? Was it a crucible? How do you think about those years?
You mean back when I was deployed?
Yeah.
I went as a first lieutenant. I had just been promoted, and I had a platoon, and my platoon was known as a collecting and jamming platoon. So for all intents and purposes, like eavesdropping, they had linguistic skills.
Yeah.
We also had some linguistic talent for Kurdish language because my soldiers didn't speak that. So I was with an intelligence battalion, and I supported one of the brigades at the 101st Airborne Division. And I would say the people, when you think about the groups of people and sociology and how people interact, I think that's probably the hardest piece is when you're dealing with different personalities. But that was one piece. But then we had a mission that we had to run, of course. So supporting that infantry brigade, and specifically a battalion in the brigade, just providing pieces of the intelligence puzzle to the brigade commander so that he could decide what they were going to do.
Can West Point actually prepare you for that, or do you need to get your boots on the ground?
I think you have to actually get your boots on the ground, but West Point definitely prepared me for that, because at West Point you have all sorts of things thrown at you. You've got like time hacks. Time is very minimal. You have little time to get a lot done. Yeah. You've got the military piece. So when you're talking about like military tactics and things, yeah, you're exposed to that at West Point. You do things in the summertime, training at Camp Bunkter, Beast Barracks, you're doing all this training. You have leadership positions and roles where you're leading and you have subordinates. And this all happens before you graduate from West Point, right? So you've had those experiences, but you don't know what you don't know until you get.
How many years then altogether?
So just over 21. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's active duty, 10 years, and then just over 11 about in the reserves. So.
What are you doing now?
That's a good question. So I subbed periodically off and on before Christmas, and just before Christmas, the principal said, and the school district asked me to be the Veterans Day speaker for this past year for the district as well as the communities, so small towns in Kansas, right? So I was the speaker, and shortly after that, the principal came and said, "Hey, Allison, we have a teacher who's making a career change. He's in the middle school, making a career change, and we have a need to have a long-term sub. Would you please consider subbing for 7th, 8th grade social studies, an elective?" And she let me pick what I wanted to teach for the elective, which was beginning French, and then a little bit of PE.
What? Beginning French.
Yes, yes.
Are you fluent?
I've been more fluent in the past, but I am fluent enough currently to teach beginning French.
Any other languages you've mastered?
Languages are my jam, Mike. I love languages. Ask me to do those all day, learn things. No, I'm not fluent in anything else, but I can sing in Swedish. And
In Swedish?
In Swedish, and some songs in French and German.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to just briefly prove that you can sing in Swedish.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, please.
I'd love to. Jag har aldrig slutat tro ett ute varje natt väntar gryningen fast jag inte kan förstå. And then it goes on.
Who are you?
I know.
But wow, so interesting. All right, so you've lived and are living a big life. What do you care most about?
Well, with raising children, one of the things that I've really, and also having substitute taught, I think about what I'm doing in the moment. Integrity, trustworthiness, honesty, and I can't tell you how many times that I've said that to the students in the classroom, and your character, basically character.
As I
is
recall,
huge.
there's a sign on the wall at West Point that talks about that stuff. Is it still there?
Which one are you talking about? I feel like this is a pop quiz.
It's an honor. I don't remember exactly.
Oh, the honor code?
It's the honor code.
Yeah, a cadet will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do.
That's
Yes.
the one. The people I most admire live by some sort of code. And is that yours, basically?
Yes, I would like to think so. If I'm telling people about how important it is that your character and your trustworthiness, how important that is, yes, that's something I wouldn't share or be emphatic about if I didn't believe that myself.
Do you love this country?
I do. I do.
Why?
I've been to other countries and around the world, and we're just really blessed to be here in this country and have the freedoms that we do, freedom to choose things that we want to do, live where we want to live, study where we want to study without fear of persecution, right? Or hiding, hiding in the dark with the curtains closed under candlelight because we're afraid somebody's going to come in and arrest us for doing something or that's actually not illegal in this country, right? So yes, we have a lot of freedoms that I think a lot of people forget and they don't realize until you leave and go somewhere else and you say, wow, we are really blessed to be living in this country.
Well, you did volunteer to defend those things.
Yes.
With with everything. And thanks for that. What's the American dream? And is it still alive?
The American dream, for me, you know what I've learned, Mike, is that, and I'm going to be very honest with you, and I was talking about this with someone the other day, it is, for me in my life, wherever God says that I need to go, I have found in my life that that is the place that I should be and I should want to be.
So, is it fair to say you feel like you're living the American dream?
I think so. I'd like to have a bit more freedom to travel, but that'll come.
Well, I'm really struck by what you said before. I just think perspective is important, and it's really hard to have perspective on this country if you've never left it. And so to have had the opportunity to go where you've been and to do what you've done, that is a gift, I believe. I haven't traveled a ton internationally. I've been around, but I've been to every state half a dozen times.
Wow.
And even that, that's enough for me to see the breadth and the depth of the country and the people in it. You go far enough, ask enough people, you'll find that the most interesting people stand for stuff that matters. Let's sum it up like that. What do you stand for?
Truth. But then some people may say, well, truth is relative, but
Those people are
the
idiots.
truth,
No,
the
those
truth,
people are
yeah,
morons. Ignore those people.
yeah. Family values, taking care of people, and I think honesty, just integrity and honesty. I mean, you can't build firm, solid relationships with anyone or any organization if you don't have you don't have a good foundation, and that foundation is integrity and honesty and trustworthiness.
How'd you wind up with PureTalk? Like, were you just looking for a better deal, or would?
So that's a good question, right? So my parents actually said, hey, we are tired of paying these high bills, and we've been hearing on the radio about this PureTalk. We're going to sign up, and we'll let you know how it goes. And if it's going well, we'll give you our code, and you can sign up too.
Awesome.
So, and they weren't pushy at all, not at all. But I was, I said, okay, that's cool. And I trust my parents. See, there we go. Integrity and trustworthiness. They don't lead me astray. So they said, hey, this is working out well. They moved actually from Northern Virginia and to the Tucson, the Vail, Arizona area. Mm-hmm. And they've been there for almost 5.5 years or so. So they got service, no issues. And then I thought, well, I have these 2 teenagers who need phone service, and they hadn't had it before, but they were actually doing a trip to West Point, mm-hmm. and I wanted them to have a phone that could take pictures and not just like some flip phone, right? So anyway, I said, well, Mommy, me, and Granddaddy said that it works well, and let's go ahead and sign up, and we did it. So, and
yeah, I mean, it's funny. I don't know that we the people have ever trusted the institutions less than we do right now. So I think we're living at a time when a recommendation from a friend or a family member truly matters.
Yeah, goes a long way.
For everything. So. Give me the West Point code again, one more time.
A cadet will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. Yeah.
I find you remarkable.
Oh, well, likewise.
From one row to another.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
PureTalk. Switch to a wireless company that actually stands for something.